Good evening, everybody. Austin Silvey here for the Evening Sports Page. Just want to give an update on what the Evening Sports Page is going to be doing this weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday, December 16th, 2017, we will be at the Shrine Bowl at Gibbs Stadium in Spartanburg, South Carolina. The top players in South Carolina high school football will be taking on the top players in North Carolina high school football. And just a little background on the Shrine Bowl. The Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas first played December 4th, 1937 in Charlotte, making it the oldest high school football all-star game in the nation. The annual game features many of the top high school players from North and South Carolina, and it's played to benefit the Greenville Unit Shriners Hospital for children and the 21 other Shriners hospitals for children across the nation. Having always been played on the third weekend in December, the game culminates the year's fundraising efforts of the 6 shrine temples involved in operating the game. The Shrine Bowl began, obviously, in 1937. It's based on the model of the East-West Shrine game that was played in San Francisco, but the game took on a new slant in the Carolinas, and instead of being a college all-star game, it would become the nation's first high school football all-star game. The inaugural game in 37, under the leadership of former Charlotte Fire Chief Hendrix Palmer, attracted 5,500 spectators, many of whom paid $1 to attend and raised $2,500 for the hospital. Since 2013, game receipts and temple contributions have raised over $1.7 million for this. And since the first game, over $75 million have been raised for Shriners hospitals. The Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas and the 6 sponsoring Shrine Centers have always led the Shriners International in contributions to the Shriner hospitals for children, and the game has been replicated or adapted by every Shrine Center in the country that promotes an athletic event. Look, this is a great game every year. Great players come from North and South Carolina. It's for a great cause. Anything that has to do with helping hurting children, children in hospitals, or anything that has to do with helping children is obviously a great cause and is definitely worth supporting. So we hope all of our listeners and everybody else that can make it out to the game tomorrow. It's at 2 o'clock at Gibbs Stadium in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Just to kind of give an overview, me and Kate are going to be there covering it. There's South Carolina and Clemson commits to watch for in this game, along with a bunch of other big-time players from the state. And there's a ton of college commits already, and obviously a few that we're still waiting to hear on. South Carolina right now has 5 players on the South Carolina roster that are committed to the Gamecocks. You have Wyatt Campbell, the offensive lineman, listed at 6'6", 285 out of Lugoff Elgin High School. You have DeCarian Joyner, quarterback, listed at 6'1", 208 pounds out of Fort Dorchester. Hank Manos, another offensive lineman, listed at 6'5", 280 from Chapin High School. Darius Rush, wide receiver, 6'2", 179, C.E. Murray High School. And just committed this week, Bryce Thompson, wide receiver, 6 foot, 185 out of Dutch Fork High School. He's been getting a lot of praise in the practices leading up to the Shrine Bowl, and a bunch of people are actually getting really excited about him. And expect his numbers on 247 to be boosted a little bit. He should get a little bump in his star and his overall composite rating on 247.com or 247sports.com. And of course, Clemson has a couple commits also on the South Carolina team. You've got Darion Kendrick, who plays quarterback, but that's not what he's going to be playing at Clemson. But for now, he's listed at that. He's 6'1", 175, South Point High School. You have Jordan McFadden, who is a Virginia Tech flip. He flipped this past week from Virginia Tech and committed to Clemson. Offensive lineman, 6'4", 285 pounds out of Dorman High School. And then you have Jake Venables, defensive coordinator Brent Venables' son. He's a linebacker, listed at 6'1", 225 pounds out of Daniel High School in Central. So 5 Gamecock commits and 3 Clemson commits right now on the South Carolina roster. On the North Carolina roster, right now there's no Clemson or South Carolina commits, but there are obviously a few names that you may want to pay attention to if you don't know about them already. You've got guys obviously the big one, KJ Henry, linebacker, 6'6", 235 pounds, out of West Forsyth High School in Clemens, North Carolina. He's a 5-star recruit, top 5, top 10 in every recruiting ranking, whether it's 247 Rivals, ESPN. He's top 10 at least. And right now his top 5 are South Carolina, Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, and Virginia Tech. And right now they have him more pinned towards Clemson, but who knows with all the dad comments that have come out. We had a chance to interview him earlier in the week. If you haven't heard that, we'll try to get it up on the website for you or on social media in some way and share it. Another one, Dax Hollifield. He's being recruited by South Carolina. Not sure where he's leaning right now, but he's a linebacker also, 6'2", 230 pounds, out of Shelby High School, Shelby, North Carolina. And then there's a couple other names, I guess, to look out for, but a lot of these kids are going to in-state schools in North Carolina. But for South Carolina kids, another name to watch is Rick Sandage Jr., defensive tackle, 6'5", 290 pounds, out of Concord High School in Concord, North Carolina. He's visited South Carolina numerous times, and he's obviously, I think, probably leaning towards South Carolina. And South Carolina's been recruiting him very heavily as well. The coaches for the teams, for the North Carolina roster, the head coach, David Gentry, Murphy High School. Assistant coaches, Tim W. Carson, Weddington High School, who, by the way, has been announced this week as West Oak Warriors' new head football coach. It was announced by the Oconee School trustees on December 11th, and this is a big hire. It's a great hire, I think. He's been the head coach 15 years in North Carolina. He went 75-23, and he'll be serving as a defensive coordinator for North Carolina Shrine Bowl team. He'll join West Oak on February 1st, as Hanvey put it. So he'll start to get to know the players. He'll be inheriting for the 2018 season. Hopefully we'll get to talk to him some, maybe get an interview and play it for you on the show next week. So that's a great get for West Oak, a good hire, and I think he'll do great things for the Warriors. Rest of the coaches for North Carolina, you have Thurman A. Leach out of Garner Magnet High School, Kevin Gillespie, Page High School, Robert A. Priest, East Bladen High School, Edward B. Shepard, East Guilford High School, Joe White III out of South Mecklenburg High School. South Carolina coaches, the head coach, David M. Gutshaw out of Dorman High School. Assistant coaches, you have Robin H. Bacon, Spring Valley, Bobby R. Carroll out of York Comprehensive High School, John B. Dew III, Lakeview High School, Kevin Farmer, Dorman High School, Douglas Shaw, Palmetto High School, and Sean Wright of Cross High School. So that's pretty much a small breakdown of the game tomorrow, some players, coaches to watch, and it should be a really good game. We hope to bring you the best coverage possible, get some interviews with players, coaches, and look, stay tuned to the Evening Sports page on Facebook, Twitter, the website, YouTube, ELSP.TK. That is a website, www.ELSP.TK. That is a page I've created for us. It's kind of just, I'll put media on there, such as post-game press conferences for Clemson men's basketball, interviews we do off-air, interviews we do on-air that you may want to hear again, like our interviews with Wes Rucker, my interview with Funny Maine, Jermaine Johnson out of Alabama, any post-game press conference, Sam Blackman, Clemson historian. We'll have more uploading in the week and days to come. And it's just pretty much a separate page for media from the Evening Sports page. We have a content page, obviously, where we could do blogs, or we'll put the audio on there. We have a ESP team page where you can learn just a little bit about me and Cade. You could contact us through it. It has our social media icons on there. You could click to follow us on social media. And we have forums on there where you can go in and talk sports with people around the area or anybody that gets on there. And right now we have a generic forum that's free to join. They're all free to join, but The generic one is you can get into without logging in. We have two others, a Tigers and a Gamecocks forum. For both of those, they're both free, but you have to sign up for a membership to get into the forum. You can't just talk in it anonymously. But that's kind of a little bit about that. It's just a way to share media content easier, a little updated web page. So be sure to check that out. Again, that's www.elsp.tk. That's the Even Later Sports page. Media and content from the Evening Sports page on 101.7 WGOG, 8 to 10, Monday through Thursday every week. Or go to the eveningsportspage.net for updates on the show coming the next week, news updates from sports, and of course, it's obviously the headquarters for high school football scores during the high school football season. So be sure to stay tuned to the website, Facebook, Twitter, at the Evening Sports page. On Twitter, it's at Evening Sports PA. You can follow me or Cade. It's at ESPCade for Cade, and then mine is at Silvey ESP. So be sure to follow us on social media and on the website all day tomorrow for Shrine Bowl coverage, interviews to come, and just stay tuned. We'll try to bring you the best coverage possible. But right now, that's the update I've got for you, and we look forward to bringing you great coverage tomorrow of the 2017 Shrine Bowl. So stay tuned to the website, stay tuned to social media, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.